went into the wildlife office in Kampala in Uganda, and we spoke to this guy that ran the national park, and he's like, well, if you guys sign all these waivers, pay us a $500 fee, we'll give you a permit to go in. And then they called some other guy, and he's like, okay, I want to talk to you guys about what happens if you have animal encounters. We're like, righto. And they're like, okay, if someone gets attacked by a hippo, let the attack finish. Once the hippos have gone, then go in and retrieve whatever's left. If someone gets attacked by a crocodile, all rush in, make a lot of noise, whatever, try and scare them off because they'll let go. And if you're the person getting attacked by the crocodile, if your arm's in its mouth, stick your arm down its throat, and there's a flap at the back of their throat that they seal off when they're underwater to stop water going into their chest cavity, and that, try and push that and they'll let you go. And this guy's telling the story deadpan, and I'm like, what the fuck are we getting ourselves into here? Like, anyway, off we go. And we set up a campsite at the top of the river, and we did a day kayak down. There was a big waterfall that we had to go around. We did a day kayak down to our campsite, and it was so gnarly, like hippos and crocodiles and all sorts. And we slept in our camp. We sat in the on the beach below the waterfall, about to set off, and it was everything that I'd imagined. I'd spent a lot of time in Africa leading up to that point, mainly in Zambia, which is very dry and dead and deserty, but this was like right on the equator. And as I sat there, I was like, man, this is exactly what I like pictured Africa as. You know, I was expecting to see like Tarzan, but it was, I mean, once you started to make your way down the river, there's no way you're coming back. Like, it's thick jungle. I mean, on one side of the river's got a child soldiers and all sorts of shit. And we'd been told all this stuff, you know, oh, the hippos are only in the flat stretches, the crocodiles won't chase you into the rapids. We peel out, go through this ginormous rapid, and halfway down it, there's a hippo standing in the middle of this like grade 4 rapid with a bow wave coming off his chest. And I was like, oh, yep, there's going to be no hippos in the rapids, right? But off we went. I mean, it took us 5 days, and it was such a wild mix of fear, excitement, camaraderie, complete focus. Like, I remember, you know, you'd get into camp at night, raining, these little shitty tents we'd bought in like a supermarket in Kampala because they were small. You'd lie in the tent, sleep, you know, just because you're exhausted from being so focused. You'd wake up in the morning, there'd be hippo prints all around your little tent. But
no attacks. No,
I mean, we had seven contact croc encounters where we had to hit with paddles or throw helmets or whatever. Had one very serious hippo encounter on land. The river would braid up into different channels, and we'd have to scout the rapids by breaking up into separate groups, taking VHF radios, and the only way you could make your way across the islands was through tunnels that hippos had made, and it was thick, thorny stuff. And me and another mate of mine from South Africa, we chose one island, and we were going to try and find a vantage point to look at the rapid, and we're sort of bent over going through the tunnel and came up behind a hippo and its calf, and she tried to back out, and it barked and turned around, and we both just ran trying to figure out different ways, and we both ended up in different areas tangled in big like vines with thorns on them, all with our clothes torn to shreds, and the hippo just ran straight past us, luckily. But